Hi and welcome. Now we're gonna do something different today. We're gonna look at how we can create a simple port scanner using Python. So if you do not have Nmap or any other tools around you, you can write one in, very few minutes if you wish to do that. I'm gonna do one in a bit longer time explaining what I do. So what I'm gonna do now is basically go ahead and touch my new file called PyScanner, or just PyScanner. Let's do that. .py. I'm gonna nano inside that with sudo privileges. So nano PyScanner. There we go. What we're gonna do now is make sure that, well, we could add the shebang line, we're gonna call that, which is the the normal where is Python installed and so on. But what I'm really just gonna do is start importing the different libraries that we need. So import socket for the socket, of course. I need to import the sub process, and we need to import sys, and we also need to import some libraries from datetime. So we're gonna import datetime from datetime. Alright, so we can always just go out and test it and do like Python and then run the PyScanner, Python, right, that, and now it's gonna tell me that I have some errors. Let's go ahead and then run with Python 3. Yeah, invalid syntax. Let's go ahead and from datetime. Let me see if I wrote this correct. Datetime, import datetime. It's kind of weird that it doesn't accept that, because oh yeah, I wrote from 2 times. That is totally bad. So from datetime, import that, and then we can just run it and see it works. So what we're gonna do now basically is should we introduce for example a header. So we do something like this. We're gonna do that in Python. I forgot that, but we can do something like welcome to PyScanner 1.0, and then do a new line. We can try and test that, for example, and just run it, and it says welcome to PyScanner 1.0. Alright, so of course we need to do something a bit more cool, I suggest today. So let's see that I did. Let's first of all, when you call this script, let's just clearing the screen. So I'm gonna do a comment clearing the screen, and that's gonna be using the sub process call, and it's gonna call clear, and it's gonna do it on the shell, so that is equals true, just like that. So let's try and do that. So we're gonna call it, and we do have a small error. Let's see, sub process. Did I do something wrong here? Yeah, it's a capitalized T if I don't remember wrongly. Whoops. So it's working now. We're clearing the screen and saying welcome to PyScanner. That's really professional, right? So this is clearing the screen, and now basically we're gonna ask for some input. So what we're gonna do now is create a variable called target. I'm gonna set it equal to input, which is going to take the input, and inside this function, input is a function, we're gonna write stuff like enter a remote host to scan, just like that. And then we're gonna say that's the target, and then we're gonna say target IP is now equal to socket get host by name, and we're gonna take the target as the 1, and let's just test that by printing out the target. Go ahead and start the program and say boom, enter remote host, so google.com for example, and we're getting google.com, so that's gonna be the well, maybe we are doing it the wrong way. So google.com is, are we going to write that when we're gonna scan something? You know, I don't think so. We should be able to write an IP address, basically, I guess, just an IP address. So let's go ahead and for now enter a remote host to scan, and then let's in short the IP address, and basically let's just remove all this, you know, that's about it. So let's go and test that and just say Python and library 10.10.10.1, and this is the library we're gonna scan. So that's gonna be, yeah, I'm gonna keep that. So what we're gonna do now is create some sort of banner, and usually when we do that, you print something out, like you say print, and you take something simple as say a dash, and you multiply that by 60, and you write something like please wait, scanning the host, and you're gonna scan the host, which is the target, and then under that we're gonna create another 60 columns of dashes. We can test that by just going out, run the code again, 10.10.10.10.1, and says please wait, scanning the host, and it looks like, you know, some program. It would probably look nice if you created a line under the first one. So oops, so when I say the first, it's gonna be, you know, we're gonna create some even more beautiful stuff. So we're gonna do equal signs and time that by 60. So let's go ahead and see if our banner was more beautiful, so 10 whatever. And now we have some extra spaces, and we need some, and this is something you can work with, you know. So I'm gonna go here right ahead and say no to new line and enter remote host. So I'm gonna create a new line there, go ahead and test that, run it, and I said run it please, and then now it's like 10 whatever, and it's gonna scan. So at the moment we can write anything we would like. So we could create a function to check whether the host is real or up. We need to ping it first. All these kind of things you need to have in a scanner, but for now we're just staying very simple. So this is creating our banner, this is taking our input, and we're using Python, so not really printing welcome message. So what you could do, and I haven't done that yet, is create methods for all these kind of things, and you know, but yeah, we're gonna do it in the Python way, I guess. Why is this? Just to see. Yeah, let's just maximize that. Go back again and say now that we have created our first lines of code, let's go ahead and save whatever time we started. So time started the scan, so is date time dot now. So we're saving the time started, so scan started at time blah blah blah. We can use that. So when you're done, you can say the scan took like 5 seconds or whatever you're gonna do, right? So what we could do now is make the user able to input what kind of ports we should scan. But you know, I'm gonna make a simple function first. I'm gonna do a try and catch. So it's gonna be try, and in except is, can I spell it all? Try except, so some keyboard interrupt. I think that is the way to spell it. And we're gonna, you know, I think this is done with a tab in this editor. You pressed Control plus C, so we can get out of it, and that's going to be sys.exit in this particular case. Inside the try and catch, we're going to do a for loop. So in Python, that is releases, so just say for, give the variable that's going to contain the next port we're going to scan. It can be anything, basically a port, or whatever. In our case, we're going to use the range method, which is in range 2024, I think it would be. And basically we can just, you know, print that out just to test it, because we've been writing a bit of code now, and I would just like to see this run. So let's do this, and you have error. Yeah, so I'm obviously used to writing Python 2.7 code. I forgot parentheses. Let's run the code again. I'm gonna scan some IP address, so let's just do that. And oh, that's too fast. So what I probably could do now is just, you know, go in and extend this number to be really big, run the code again, and just say that. So I tried to do Control C, and it seems like that it didn't quite work as I intended. Keyboard interrupt. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So that's gonna be key. Yeah, it's a small b, so it's gonna be like that. I think that's gonna do it. Yeah, so now it works. I can react on going out, so it's very normal that in this Python scanning programs, just Python programs you're using for, you know, these offensive hacking tools, if you actually do a Control C, you're gonna go back to a main menu. But for now, we're gonna stay really focused on just using simplest of everything. So we're gonna go to 1023 for now. Let's test that, and that is the exact range we want, because the normal ports is within the range of 1 to 1023. Everything above that is beyond the normal reserved ports. So let's go ahead and do a comment here called scanning the ports. So we're not going to do any printing, of course. We're going to scan something. What we're going to do is going to create a socket. So basically just call the variable for sock as socket, and say socket.socket. I'm gonna use the IP version 4 family, and basically say that, and it's gonna be a stream. Yeah, if you wonder why I'm looking at the other screens, because I have the written result ready. Because to make this video I need to prepare a bit. So and the result of this is going to be saved in sock.connect. And the connect X, I'm going to explain that in a few minutes. It takes a tuple, so it's going to be a target and the port in order to scan. Okay, so we're going to do an if statement, say result equals 0. So if that is equal to 0, we're gonna print out port whatever. We can do something like this. Let's do the word open, and then do stuff like format. I think we can do that still. let's just pretty fast try this. So we're gonna do that on a scan 10, 11, 0 to 1. That's me. So basically it's my own machine. Yeah, sure. It doesn't really go that far. So it does run. It would seem that, but let's just assume for now that. And of course, gonna close the socket. I forgot that. Maybe that would have some sort of result. So let's see. Nope, nothing so far. So let's go ahead and see. I want to stick to. I really want to use like port. So you say this, comma, port, comma, is open, like that. That's going to be a more Python 3-ish syntax, I would assume. In my eyes, it is at least. Alright, so it doesn't show any results at the moment, so let's just see if I did something wrong here. So basically we're going to take the input and the target is ready. So let's go ahead and here we're gonna print out the target and the port and basically just run the code 127.0.0.1 and I'm seeing the values that I need, so that would be fine. Alright, so let's see what is missing now. Let's let's just continue adding the other things that I had in mind. So another exception, it's called socket got error. I think that's the way to spell it, isn't that true? Yo, so print, and we're gonna print out stuff like host name could not be resolved, and then exiting like that, and then do a normal sys.exit. We could try, run this now once more and see whether it had some issues, and it did not. So if we wrote stuff like that, it would fail now. So now we're saying host could not be resolved, exiting. So it seems that our exception is working, which is really nice to see that something at least is going to scan today. Now about this suck connect X, it's compared to the normal connect, it's gonna wait and hang if we have some sort of interruption where the X is better for scanning because it will basically go down to one of the exceptions, which is in our case, for a scanner, what we want. So we're also going to do an exception for socket error and basically just something like print and then do could not connect to the server, I would assume would be a good way to say that. And then do sys.exit, that's right. And once more we can try and see, is this the problem we have when we're gonna run it? And basically we have no exceptions, so still good, so good. Now after these exceptions, we're gonna print out the last few things, which is checking the time again. So it's gonna be end. Going to be time end equal to datetime.now, which is the next one, and then we're going to calculate the time difference, which is done by saying time end minus time started. That's basically how that's done. Alright, so then we can do a print statement saying, whoops, scan completed in, and then comma time diff. Let's go ahead and try that and say Python scanning 107.001 and time completed in. Very fast, very fast. So what we could do is to make the count extremely long and just do that again, run it, and see if we can just, whoa, that's a lot of, so we got some exceptions because it says the port have to be within 0 to 65,535, which is of course true. So let's just do max 65,535. Run it again and say this is my IP address. It will run, and it took some sort of time. So it seems that I have some open ports on this machine. So basically say that these ports are open on this machine, at least this virtual machine, and basically we created a very special little funky port scanner. So what I suggest we should do now is basically start a try hack me room. Usually I'm gonna go ahead and choose a very simple room that I know do have some open ports, so it's gonna be that one. And remember that we're doing this ethical, so I'm not really gonna scan a real machine. It's going to be a virtual machine that we have. It's gonna be up in a few minutes, so I'm gonna pause the video until then. So time is up. We got the IPs. Let's go ahead and copy that, and let's go to our newly formed script here, and let's go ahead and run it. Put the IP in and just basically paste it. It's gonna run now, and it doesn't really do much when we run the script. I also put it to scan all 65,535 different ports. So what we're gonna do now after this, let's go ahead and add some options to this so we can modify how many different kind of ports we're gonna scan. We're gonna create a small menu asking if it's gonna scan for the ports, the normal ports, I guess from 1 to 1023, something like that. So we're getting some results back. It's pretty. It's taking some time. I'm really not gonna do that. So basically, I'm just gonna break out the program. So we will not scan all the ports. No, we're not gonna scan all the ports. We're gonna scan up to 1024. So this is gonna be the standard scan. Really what we should do is to create some methods, in order to better, control our program. But I think for now we're just gonna stay really simple, not creating any methods or anything, because this is just a simple small Python scanner. So what you're gonna do here is say, I'm gonna create a comment, say enter the range to scan. And the range is going to be inputted. Let's see, how should we do it? We can say like from port equal to input, and then ask the user scan from minimum port scan. Okay. First port to scan, enter. It's going to be a difficult question. How could you say that? The user should enter the scan it should scan from. So we can just say 80, let's just say enter the range to scan, and we're gonna write a small example like 40 to 100, and then ask the user for that, and basically that's gonna be it. So this is gonna be the port range instead of that. So what we're gonna do now is create another variable called port from and port to, and the port from is gonna be equal to port underscore range, and we're gonna cut out. Let's see how we're gonna do that. What is the Python function to split? Is it just split? Python function split. Isn't that something we can do? Yeah, we got a split, and yeah, and the split does offer us a separator, and yeah, we're just gonna do, that's gonna be really easy. So basically just say python.split, that's gonna be the dash, and this is gonna be the first port. I don't know, this is gonna, we should probably, you know, do this another way, but you know, it's gonna finish fast. So this is gonna be the second, and then I'm basically just gonna do a print here to test port from, comma, and then some beautiful stuff, and port 2. Basically that's it, and then do sys exit here, not to run the program, and then do Python, and then just do whatever, and let's do 41 to 106. So that is the numbers we're getting. Those numbers are going to be put inside of the let's remove this, inside of the for loop here. So basically that's gonna be, I think we need to do that a conversion. So we're gonna say int, I think that's the Python way, port from, I said from, and then do an integer here called port 2. Let's go ahead and try that. So Python, and we're gonna take the IP address of the Try Hack Me room one more time. There we go. And then go back here, paste it in, and let's say 1 to 22. And hostname could not be resolved. Why is that? Is it because of the? Oh yeah. So we need to fix some space issues, and we can do that by introducing a trim 1 to 22. So we're scanning 1 to 22. Basically, let's try again and say 1 to 50. And yeah, it seems working now. So we are scanning the range of 1 to 50, and we could inform the user even more by please wait scanning the host. And then under that, whoops, let's go ahead and do stuff like, it will be here, so print port, and then do comma port from to comma port 2. So let's go ahead and save that, and once more, nope. Let's go ahead and take the IP again. So we're gonna copy that, put it in, say 1 to 50, and it scanning the host. It looks weird, so let's go ahead and say it's not that way. Scanning the host, target, yeah, then say import from, and then do a dash. Then I guess basically do a port 2 there, and then save that. Go ahead, put the IP in 1250, and it looks, please wait, scanning the host. Yeah, it looks fine. Let's create some more space in between so it looks even more pro. So let's go ahead and do a line separator. So this is gonna be a new line basically. So that's gonna be, I think an empty print would do it, to be honest. Whoops. Yeah, it would. So we are having a wrong, that's not an IP address. We could stop the scan before. So I guess there would be a way in, say, Python check if IP is correctly formatted. I guess that would be the way. Validate IP address using Python step-by-step guide. So I guess they could use that for this particular example. That's going to be an IP. So validate. Yeah, I guess this would be it. Could we just import IP address? You know, let's just try this for fun. Why not? This is at least just a fun small program we're doing. Let's copy that, you know, method. You're not going to do a method, so I'm going to make this even more simple. So just going to put it here and say no reason to do a method. It's gonna stick to a simple approach for now. I'm basically just gonna say it's gonna be the target, and the format is going to be target here, in that true, and this is gonna be target again. Oh, let's go ahead and check the page. So they take the address, and the address is the target because our variable is called target, and we're gonna save that as an IP. I guess we can try and run this. So alright, we have some inconsistent use of tab. I love the way they say it. How did I do it before? It's just there. That's not tabbing. That is spacing, I would say. So yeah, 1. IP is 1 is not valid. All right, let's do 10, 10, 10, 1, and this is valid. So okay, let's go ahead and go back and say if it's valid, we're basically not gonna do anything. This is just gonna be like a success. So the IP is valid, continue the program. Basically that's it. If it's not valid, we're gonna print that out and basically do something like let's do something like that. And cannot copy that. I cannot copy at all. It is one of the difficult things in the world is to copy. So I'm gonna take this, copy section, paste it. So we're gonna print out all of this is going to be deleted. Then we say instead of that, we're gonna do, basically I should have taken this one here and put it there, you know, but could do the slow way. IP address is not valid, and then we're gonna do print and say quitting, and then After this, we're gonna do sys exit. Let's go ahead and test that. So whatever, and some stupid IP address, so 10, 300 in the end, and it's gonna say I'm not valid, quitting. Beautiful. And instead of now, we're gonna take the IP address of the room here for bold one more time. Go ahead and put that in and say 1 to 100. It's scanning port 1 to 100 now. It says port 22 and port 80 is open. Scan is complete in 4 seconds and almost a hundredth of a second. So this is how you can create a very simple Python scanner. In Python, obviously. And basically, you know, you can... This is without methods. I haven't created anything, code reusage or anything. I really think that you should... go ahead and create some methods, and you can, you know, make this really good, you know. This is called a full TCP connect scan. You can also do that in Nmap. And in Nmap you do, you know, the commands like dash something and then put, you know, T or CN or create some sort of input. For this particular program, it's just very small steps we did. I'm gonna share the code with you guys. I'm gonna put it on Dropbox, and basically you can watch the video, download the code, get some impressions, and hopefully, if you like it, please consider subscribing to my channel, leave a comment below, or even like the video. So, bye.